Sound. We'll get a one or two on that, and we'll go. All right, welcome to the Zones All Access, hosted by the Sports Center. We're on episode 46. Today we have Claiborne High School basketball coach Corey McGinnis as our guest, and we will talk about some basketball and some of his background and stuff. But first, we need to talk about our partners. Without all our partners, we couldn't do what we do. We have some premier partners, including Stay and Play, Doggy Daycare, Value RX Pharmacy, Tazewell, Tennessee, Whitaker Insurance Agency, Hearthside Bank, Pizza Inn of Tazewell, Walker & Walker Construction, Clayton Homes of Middlesboro, Claiborne Health and Wellness, Roland Veterinary Services, Danny England Motors, and First Century Bank always supplies our communication. We thank each and every one of you. Without you, we could not do what we do. All right, Coach, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Let's start with a little bit of your background.
Okay. So, as you know, prior to being here at Claiborne, I was at Morristown East for 7 years.
Born over Morristown?
I'm born that way. I have born and raised that way, and grew up over there. Went to Morristown East High School. Graduated from there. Went to Carson Newman, and Carson Newman. Actually, I didn't plan on being a teacher. I went there to play baseball and become an accountant. And I was an accountant for 2 years and did not like it. Absolutely not. Did not like it. And actually got let go back in 2010 when that little depression hit. And my athletic director, who was my former coach, reached out to me and said, would I be interested in coaching? And I said, well, actually I would. And my intent was to coach baseball because that's kind of was my first love. And so I went to coach baseball to say, hey, we need a basketball coach right now too. And so I joined the staff. And while I was at East, I coached a little bit of everything. I coached boys basketball. I coached softball. I coached football. I coached baseball. And it was kind of, I wanted to coach them all and see which one I really liked. And basketball was the one I fell in love with as a coach. And I was an assistant there for 7 years and then came this way. So still excited to be here. Love the place, love the people here and the kids, and ready to get going again.
What's your sports background as a kid? What did you play when you were growing up?
Well, I played football, baseball, and basketball growing up. A little bit of golf on the side, but mainly football, baseball, and basketball. Baseball was my sport. I played it through the summer and fall. And then when I got to high school, it was mainly baseball and basketball. I played both those throughout high school. 1 year golf in high school. But like I said, baseball was kind of my first love, and I was fortunate enough to be able to go to Carson Newman and play there for 4 years. And like I said, as I got to coaching, though, I realized I didn't like the field work and I didn't like the weather issues with baseball, and I ended up settling with basketball, and I love doing it.
All right. What was your favorite team and possibly a favorite athlete if you had one?
Oh, favorite team was Atlanta Braves. There's no doubt about it. My mom and dad joked that when I was 5, I would rather watch the Braves than the cartoons on TV. Dale Murphy was the original. I love Dale Murphy. And then as I grew up, Chipper was obviously one of the favorites. But I'd have to say my favorite overall was Greg Maddox. Loved the way he pitched. He wasn't a burner. Wasn't going to blow it by anybody, but man, he was smart and knew how to pitch, and he was really fun to watch.
Good. Back then, when you were in high school, did you ever decide or think about coaching in any form or fashion?
No.
Or did that come later?
No, it definitely come later. Like I said, my two choices I thought coming out of high school was going to either be engineering or accounting. And I guess that's why I teach math. I like numbers. I like dealing with numbers. And I thought those would be career paths to choose from. And like I said, once I got into accounting for 2 years, and it wasn't the people there. The firm was great. I loved the people at the firm. I didn't like the work. And it just kind of, I guess God led me in this direction. they treated me well. And then, timing couldn't have been any better. But the week after I got laid off, I got a phone call asking if I'd want to coach. So, that's how God moves through people, and hopefully He just keeps moving through me.
You're right. Uh, kind of explain your coaching philosophy overall.
Well, we want to be aggressive, and that's something we worked on hard this year, and I'm sure we'll get to more of that as we go. But trying to be competitive and be aggressive in everything we do, try to dictate to the other team and not get caught on our heels. As far as X's and O's philosophy wise, it kind of changes year to year depending on the players. You try to tailor stuff that they can do, along with a mix of some base stuff. But want to be aggressive, want to be an attacking type team, want to put pressure on the other team as much as possible.
How do you go about building team chemistry and uh, just improving your team through a team atmosphere?
Well, we compete every day in practice, and we pray together, and we get after each other, but we pick each other up. And I tell them all the time, like, you don't have to be best friends, but on the court between the lines, you're brothers, and you got to treat each other that way. Even though one may be competing against another for time, in the end, we're competing on the scoreboard to try to win a basketball game, and that's got to be the understanding and the goal. And with young men growing up, it's hard for some of them to understand that. That obviously they all want to play, they all want to be a part of it. And it's a tough task, and we try to do things together, and we take trips in the summer. We do some things like that for team bonding, try to get to know each other, and in the end, it comes down to just trying to be unselfish, do whatever it takes to win games, and try to be the best teammate possible.
Good. How do you base playing time on? Is it through statistics and analytics? Is it effort, or is it a combination of all that?
It's definitely a combination. There's obviously the statistics side that everybody gets to see now. Stats go out, they're on huddle, and parents get them, and players get them, so everybody gets to see stats. So that's definitely a part of it. Effort is bare minimum. Nobody's going to step on the floor if they don't have effort, and I tell them that. And it's a saying that one of the coaches that I coach for at East said. He said, "Effort gets you in the door. That gets you an opportunity. And once you show effort, now let's see what we can do with the ball and how we can play the game." There's so many little things that we have that we game grade that doesn't show up in a stat sheet that go into account as well. Just find little details like boxing out, being in the right spots defensively, executing offensively. There's no stats for being a good screen setter. There's no stat for always sprinting the floor and being the first guy at the rim. Those are just things that show up on film and show up in practice that definitely weigh in on it. And then at the end of the day, kids got to be able to put the ball in the hole, and they've got to be able to defend. So, it's a combination of all those things. And we're, as a coach, we're always looking, always trying to give opportunity as much as we can to earn those positions.
Okay, let's talk about your senior class. Mention some of them.
We might eat up the whole segment here. I've got 9 this year. It's a heavy senior class, but they've all earned it, and they're all a part of the program because they wanted to be, and they worked hard to get in this position. We've got a few of them that have started a couple years that we're going to depend on. Caden Williams has been working at the 1 now for 2.5 years. He played some as a sophomore and was banged up last year. It's good to have him back healthy. Of course, Caden Lovin's another one that's been banged up some. Still a little banged up from football, and he'll deal with that all year. But he's pushing through it and doing the best he can. He still moves really well. So proud of that. And then, of course, coming back to football too is Christopher Ford. He's really developed. He's good downhill. He's developed an outside shot. Very excited to see him play. And like I said, there's so many others. Drew's been a part of playing time now for 2.5 years. Epperson, and he's going to give us a lift, obviously, and is very efficient with the ball.
He's a senior this year?
He's a senior this year. He is. It's a big group. You got Lucas Thomas.
It's a good thing. It still breaks my heart.
It's Aiden Roark, and of course, we got Cole Adams and Connor King, who both transferred in, and then Corbin Whitaker's back again. And I've got the roster up, make sure I don't forget anybody, but 9 of them. But they're doing a great job. They're leading. They're doing things the right way, and they're a close group. They get along real well. They don't care who shoots. They don't care, who gets the points. That they care about who wins. So I'm proud of that group and the way they developed, and they've got a real drive going into this year.
Okay, talk about your junior class.
Junior's a little smaller. We've got four. We've got Chase Robinette's a junior now. Harrison Whitaker, Braden Bennett, and Paul Savard. We actually picked up. He come to me, wanted to play. He's grown a lot. He's a junior and hadn't played much. And I said, "Well, come on out. We'll give you a tryout." And he's a big kid and he's willing to learn. He's smart, good kid. So we're going to keep him and give him a look too. But we expect some minutes from Chase this year for sure. He's been developing in that way and working on his individual game. But expect minutes there. And Braden Bennett's obviously got a chance to break into some minutes too. And Harrison's doing a good job. He's a great teammate. Does anything I ever ask him, best he can. So we're excited with that group. It's a little thin, but I like the pieces there.
How is Robinette? Has he stayed the same? Has he improved? Because at the end of the year, he was pretty dynamic.
He's definitely improved. He's worked on his left hand a lot. We've worked on his shooting a lot. We've tweaked his shot a little bit. And he's making more outside shots now, and the left hand's developed a lot more now. Defensively, he's very active. He's quick. He's long. I expect him to be able to get a lot of deflections. He's a player that I realistically can go say, hey, guard 1 through 4, and he can go guard 1 through 4. So he brings a lot to the table when he's locked in and ready to go, and we've seen a lot more consistency with that so far at the beginning of the year.
Any other surprises coming out of the junior class?
No real surprises there. It's they keep developing, they keep working. They had a good off season. The whole group did, and you can see the maturity. A lot of kids do that from sophomore to junior year. You see a lot more maturity in how they go about things like conditioning and workouts and such, and they've done a good job of that.
Okay, sophomores.
Got a big crop of sophomores. Start with Robbie Wilmuth. He has really changed his body. He's gotten a lot stronger. He's gotten quicker. He's very physical. He plays guard. He can play post. Expect a lot out of him this year. He's going to play a lot of minutes.
And gain any height?
He did. He got a little taller. He just keeps growing. He's young, just sophomore. He's developing really well. Great kid. Does everything I ever ask of him. And he's always looking to grow and learn. He's working on his jump shot, and it slowly keeps getting better. I expect it to be solid this year. Like I said, he's good downhill. He's very physical. We've got some other sophomores that are continuing to develop and are very dynamic players, and they're going to keep growing and get better. But like I said, I got a whole bunch of them. Eric Ferguson's going to keep developing and get better. He's long and athletic. Noah Berg. We've added Mason Helton back this year. He come back and he's working to develop and get better. Riley Carmack's another one, and we added Zayden Michael as well. So got a pretty deep sophomore group.
Okay, freshman.
Freshman. We got a big group. This is the largest freshman group I've had as a coach here. I'm excited, really excited about this group. We've got a freshman schedule this year, freshman-only games. They're going to have 14 games to play with just them. They're getting some individual practice time, so they're getting even more reps than most freshmen have ever gotten with us. But it's a really deep group. Like I said, I'm super excited about it. You got, I start with Midway. You got Brady Rosenbaum and Pierce have come over from Midway, both doing a great job, both very good athletes, very smart. They get after it real well. You got Graham, who's from SMMS, along with Colton. Obviously, Brayton Ford from SMMS and Trayvon. They're all working hard, getting better. And it's a slow process for them. There's a lot of change coming from middle school to high school and how to do things, the speed of the game, things like that. But we're excited with Danny Ball and Kanan Adams, Cole's younger brother that I mentioned as a senior, and Braden Whitaker is there. And we're very excited. Got a Justice Francis. He's actually homeschooled, but he's going to play with us this year. Then Brantley Burke also from Springdale. So really deep group. They're getting a lot of reps, and they're just going to keep getting better and better. And it'll really pay dividends in a couple of years for sure.
Okay, name a few of your players that's going to assume the position of a shooting guard or just a guard in general.
One in particular that I think's really improved his shot over the last 2 or 3 years is Lucas Thomas. He shot it well. He was a little discouraged. We had a joint practice a few days ago with Granger, and he kind of discouraged after that. But his response was good. He's like, "Coach, can I stay and shoot?" Absolutely. And he gets more shots up. He shot it well today in practice, and he's going to continue to shoot it well for us for sure. Connor Keene coming over from Hancock shoots the ball really well. He gets his shot off well. He's going to help us on the perimeter. shooting the basketball. Caden shoots it well from the point. Caden Lovin is solid from the wing. He's real smart. And he's going to be solid there. And Chris has really developed his outside shot along with Drew. Both of those guys, albeit they might run the 4 or the 5, can definitely step out and shoot. I feel really comfortable with pretty much any of the kids on the varsity level stepping out and shooting a 3, which is good. But the ones that those corner threes, Lucas and Connor and Chris and Lovin, those guys are going to have to make some for us this year, and I know that they will.
Okay, forwards.
Forwards we're deep there. We've got a lot of 45s, and we don't really have it. And I'll kind of work around this one, come back to it. Only true centers we really have would probably be Corbin Whitaker, and he can still step out and play a 4. So really, when you say forwards, I think of my whole group of 45s, and that starts with Drew and Fish, Christopher Ford, and those two. They understand what the program's about, and they do everything the right way. They're good inside. They're good outside. They can both drive. They can both shoot. They defend well. They're long and active. And then you got kids like Aiden Roark back from football, which I don't know if I mentioned him in seniors. If I didn't, he's back from football. Good. And he's definitely bringing a lot of punch. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but his energy in practice is really good. He's scrappy, he hustles, a lot of the same stuff you see on the football field. Tough kid. He brings some toughness to us, and that's a big boost for sure. His strength may not be to shoot the 3, but he can knock them down. He's not shy about it. He can make some real physical rebounds well. Corbin steps outside and can shoot. His back to the basket game's gotten a lot better. We're doing a lot of pick and roll stuff, and they've been really good in the roll. And just helping us out there. And we can go small if we need to, or we can go really big. I can put some lineups out there that are really large across the board. So we're excited about that group. Really deep. I feel comfortable playing 5-6 guys if necessary.
If you're playing a team that's got a lot of length, and they're playing like a true center, who's going to be down there in the paint to guard their best or tallest player?
Well, we've got a couple options there. Drew can do it if he works the front with his length, and Chris can do it with his strength. The best combination, though, that probably would have it would be Corbin and Aiden. They're a little more physical than the other two. They both can handle that job for sure. But I feel comfortable with any of those kids down there, and that's not even mentioning Robbie, who, like I said, he plays guard and forward. Robbie can guard the post just as well too. He's gotten a lot stronger, a lot more physical. He can guard down there against a
5. What's the strength of your team this year?
I would say depth. It's one of the deepest teams that I've had since I've been here. Practices are very competitive. We can go 5-on-5, and it looks like 2 varsity groups out there. There's no step off, not significant step off anyway when we go 5-on-5. So we've got a lot of depth, which allows me in games to play different combinations. I can play to different strengths. I can match up against teams in certain ways that I would like, and kind of dictate those lineups to a certain degree. So we play well fast. We're really good at adjustments this year, and an example of that is we were scrimmaging Granger, and they were running a certain action, and without me having to coach it, my guards, after seeing it once, adjusted immediately and were able to call it out and able to counter some of the actions without me having to adjust. And that's something that comes with experience and 9 seniors.
Weakness.
I hate to call it a weakness, but it's going to be right, and it's going to be the thing that there's 3 factors really for us. 2 I preach on every year: don't turn the basketball over, and rebounding. If we can not turn the ball over, rebounding, maximize possessions, we're going to be in good shape. Those 2 are constants. And then the third one this year for us is going to be back to that 3-point shooting. If we can make some outside shots, make the teams expand a little bit defensively, then we're going to be able to use some of that length that we have to slash to the rim and make some plays there. So knocking down outside shots has definitely improved. We've got to keep getting better at it. We've got to be better rebounders as a group. We've got to be physical when we rebound. There's a handful that are, but we've got to get across the board more physical and rebound the ball a little bit better.
Okay, let's talk about the schedule this year. It's about the same as last year, or has it changed a little bit?
It's pretty similar. Now, the biggest difference is we've moved districts.
Districts changed.
We've left the old district. So now we're in a district. It's us in Cumberland Gap with Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg Pittman, and Eagleton out of Maryville. So that district has shifted. So those teams all come on the schedule. Of course, Cumberland Gap's already there, but the other 3 come onto the schedule. We kept Cherokee on the schedule from last year. We'll play them a couple times. Union is there. Hancock is there as usual. Washburn is there again this year. We open up at Morristown East next week with a good challenge there. They're going to be athletic. They're going to be well coached. They're going to play physical, tough defense. So, that'll be a good start. Then we go on the road for Hall of Fame games to Scott and play Scott County and Monterey. And then, of course, our Thanksgiving tournament. And we're excited. Third year in a row, we've got teams calling and wanting in. Had to turn teams down this year, which is really exciting.
About 8 teams, or
we've got 8. Yep, we've got 8 teams featuring us and Cumberland Gap are both in it. We've got Union County in it this year, South Doyle, North Green, West Green, Campbell County's in it. It's a good slate of teams this year, a good competitive ball this year. So we're excited about that as usual. Then Christmas time, we're taking a trip post Christmas to Florida this year. Haven't done that since year 2. We're excited to do that. Take them down to Pensacola for Christmas tournament down there, and that's another one that's kind of with team bonding. That's why we do trips like that too. And so we're excited to get back on the road for that as well. But it's definitely a different schedule, but some similarities as well.
this is mostly to the underclassmen, but what's expected of your players?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, playing hard is non-negotiable. They have to play hard. That's step number 1. That gets them opportunity. And just be better every day. I tell them all the time, your goal is to be 1% better today than you were yesterday. And if you're always 1% better today than you are yesterday, you're going to grow a lot quicker than you think. And I always strive to get them to keep growing, keep learning. They're going to have days where they take step backs. That's part of life. That's part of being on a team. But pick each other up, play together as a team, always look to improve. And then before you know it, you're getting older, and your juniors and your seniors, and you've developed into really good high school players. And that's kind of the message to those young guys is keep improving day by day, just a little bit better every day, and the results will accumulate and show good things.
Is the program in a good shape, or does it still have a few needs?
Right now, we're in pretty good shape. This is the largest roster I've ever had. We've got 30. I actually had got five managers this year that wanted to come out and be a part of the program. My brother jokes that I've got too many mouths to feed, so to speak. But the program in itself has grown. The parents, I have to say, have done a wonderful job of raising money and helping us on the Booster Club side of things. Just wrapped up our banner fundraiser. The community was great. I appreciate everybody in the community who gave and wanted to be a part of that. So we've done really well there, and very thankful for that, very humbled for that. We just hope to go out and do things the right way and show pride in the community that way.
Okay, last question to you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got one more after this one,
Right.
but it's a statement more. Talk to your fans about this team, and what do you want Bulldog Nation to know?
Well, just these kids are going to fight. They're competitive. We've worked hard to generate that the last couple of weeks, and they've responded really, really well. They're going to play extremely hard, extremely fast, very physical. They're going to play the right way. We got a couple high flyers this year that hopefully we can get going at the rim and try to play an exciting brand of ball. The ball is going to move. It's going to be exciting. We've got a few new wrinkles up our sleeve offensively that I'm really excited about. So we're come on out and watch us. The best time early on in the season is that Thanksgiving tournament. We want everybody to come out. There's good ball all the time, and come out and support us and see some good ball around Thanksgiving. But we're going to represent you the right way. We're going to work hard and play the right way and play hard. We're excited to get you going.
Okay, I asked your brother this question. He's got one opinion, but I don't know if he'll agree to it. Who was the best athlete?
Oh well, that could start a fight around here, No, it's if you're going on speed, I win. If you're going on strength, he wins. No, I would say we were pretty comparable. Now, one of us played college sports. I won't say who, but outside, no, we joke about it all the time. I couldn't give a definite answer, but we both bring different things to the table. I guess right now where we compete the most is on the golf course. We both like to golf a lot, and I'm a little more inconsistent. I'm liable to have a little lower score, but he's very reliable and steady, so he gets me a lot on the golf course for sure. But I try to get him out to go fishing, but he won't ever go fishing with me. So that's one place I can get him.
That's all that matters.
That's right.
All right, thanks for coming in today. Best of luck this season to the Bulldogs. And thanks for everyone that watches out there. Once again, thanks to our partners. Without them, we could not do what we do. Thanks for Rex and the Sports Center for hosting us. We try to do this once a week, 46 of them right now. So we're getting close to the 50th episode. As you can see, Rex has got all kinds of shirts, and he makes signs, athletic gear. If you need anything sports related, come up here.
I recommend that one. If you can see it.
Yeah, you'll see it. But anyway, thanks for everybody, and until next time, we'll see you later. God bless.